Welcome to this episode. Today we're diving into why public confidence in biotech innovations depends more on solid evidence than on hype. It's easy to get excited about new discoveries, right? New platforms, patent-pending ideas, or promising theories can sound really transformative and urgent.
Yeah, absolutely. But that excitement, what we often call hype, can sometimes be misleading if it moves faster than the actual evidence behind it. So the big idea here is that trust in biotech comes from discipline and proof, not just excitement.
Right. Hype grabs attention quickly. It can make early-stage science sound way more advanced than it really is. And that's tempting because it can attract investors, partners, and public interest fast. But the problem is, hype is fragile. Once people realize the claims were overstated, it's really hard to rebuild that trust.
Exactly. Evidence, on the other hand, takes time to build. It involves careful study design, controls, measurable biological signs, what scientists call biomarkers, safety checks, reproducibility, and independent validation. It's slower, but it creates a much stronger foundation for trust that lasts.
So, evidence-based communication means being honest about what's known, what's still uncertain, and what steps are planned to validate the science. That honesty shows respect for the difference between possibility, what might be true, and proof, what's actually demonstrated.
And the public doesn't need every technical detail, but they do deserve clear, honest communication about where the research stands. For example, the Biotech International Institute, or BII, makes it clear that their platforms are research stage, patent pending, and require independent validation. They avoid making clinical claims before the evidence supports them.
That's a good point. Transparency here doesn't mean sharing confidential secrets. It means being reasonably honest about what's known, what's unknown, and what comes next. That kind of openness helps build confidence without risking proprietary information.
Let's talk about some examples from BII's platforms to make this concrete. Take Neuroforol. It's linked to neuroinflammation and cannabinoid-inspired research. BII doesn't say it's a proven treatment. Instead, they explain it's designed for a validation process involving receptor studies, biomarker assays, safety checks, and independent review.
Yeah, and then there's NeuroReset, which relates to addiction recovery biology. Addiction recovery is really complex. It involves biology, behavior, environment, and community. So BII avoids saying NeuroReset treats addiction. Instead, they focus on studying mechanisms and planning validation carefully.
Another one is Mycoforol, which is about fungal-inspired neurotropic pathways. Terms like BDNF or neural resilience are important but can be overstated. BII emphasizes analytical clarity and safety before making any strong claims.
And their precision peptides platform is designed for targeted signaling and pain biology. But design alone isn't proof. They ask questions like, is the peptide stable? Can it be delivered effectively? Is target engagement measurable? What safety screens are needed? That's how they build credibility over time.
Then there's AgriShield X, which is about livestock protection. Real-world testing is essential here. Things like heat, sunlight, animal movement, and environmental impact all matter. BII avoids claiming it solves pest problems before validation, focusing instead on formulation testing, safety review, and field relevance.
So what happens when companies overclaim? That's what we call false certainty, presenting early-stage science as if it's settled or proven. Saying things like, this platform treats disease, or this product solves livestock threats, without proper validation, can create unrealistic expectations.
And that can confuse the public, raise regulatory concerns, weaken investor confidence, and even put pressure on the science before it's ready. It can work against the very innovation the company hopes to build.
That's why evidence-centered communication is so important. It helps partners like universities, contract research organizations, investors, and strategic collaborators see that the company is serious and disciplined. They want clear validation plans and measurable endpoints.
And it's not just about partners. Communities affected by these innovations, patients, recovery groups, farmers, animal health stakeholders, they all deserve honest communication that balances hope with realism. Evidence-centered communication shows respect for these groups and builds lasting confidence.
Another key point is consistency. Public confidence isn't built by a single statement. It builds over time through consistent messaging across websites, blogs, social media, investor materials, and public comments.
Right. Using responsible language like associated with research questions instead of treats or solves helps maintain credibility. It's ambitious but grounded, showing seriousness and respect for the science and the people involved.
I like the mental model they use, possibility versus proof. Possibility is what might be true. Proof is what's demonstrated by evidence. Responsible communication focuses on describing what's being studied, why it matters, and what evidence is needed next.
That mental model really helps avoid hype and false certainty. It's like building a house. You don't just slap on flashy paint and call it done. You need a solid foundation first. Evidence is that foundation.
Exactly. And careful language doesn't weaken the story. It actually strengthens it by showing the company is serious, credible, and ready for the long term.
So for listeners, when you hear about new biotech breakthroughs, look for evidence and validation, not just excitement and bold claims. That's where real trust comes from.
To wrap up, public confidence in biotech innovations is earned through honesty, evidence, and respect, not hype. It takes time and discipline, studying serious needs, protecting the science, measuring biology, screening for safety, seeking independent validation, and communicating responsibly along the way.
And that's a story worth telling. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for listening. Take care.